Asperger's syndrome is a form of autism characterized by difficulties with social interaction and nonverbal communication. Pembroke Scout Troop visited a presentation about Asperger's syndrome to learn more about the disorder. PACTV Community News was there too.
So it's largely a social communication disorder. One of the things that's often the most confusing is when we speak to each other, little do we know that only a small percent of communication is the actual words we use. A lot of communication is your body language, your facial expression, the intonation when you accentuate a word and when you don't, the context you're in. If I said one thing in this setting, and I used the same actual words, but it was a different setting, I could have a whole different meaning. The rules change in communication depending on the context, depending on the setting. And somehow, without being taught all of that stuff, like you're taught how to speak, but you're not taught that this face means this thing, that this body language means something different than this body language, that eyebrows up means something different than eyebrows down. Like you're not actually taught that if you're part of a majority. Through being with people and communicating with people as toddlers and preschoolers, you kind of understand that stuff. For most people on the spectrum, however, what they hear, what the communication is the words. And so if you say it quietly, it's the same thing as if you say it loudly. If you say it in the context of a meeting with both adults and peers, it's the same as if you say it with a group of peers. The words are what is processed as opposed to the rest of it, unless it's taught. This is so cool about Asperger's. If you figure out what someone with Asperger's doesn't know, that the majority does know, and you teach it, they learn it. Go figure, if you teach someone something that they don't know, they can learn it. The trick is figuring out what they don't know. So a lot of times communication goes in a very intellectual way. There are these misunderstandings, and it's a very exact way. It's not like getting the gist. Not so much with the gist if you have Asperger's. You're not really a gist kind of guy. You're more of an exact kind of guy. So this is the kid who will drive you crazy because you say the meeting is going to start at 7 and we're going to do this introduction, whatever, and then at 7:15 we're going to break into small groups. And at 7:15 they're like, excuse me, at 7:15 it's time to move along. And you're like, I'm finishing up what I'm doing. And it feels disrespectful. It feels disruptive. It is actually disruptive to the flow of the group. It feels sometimes obnoxious is another word that pops to mind, because this is a basically bright person. And they're like, tick, tick, it's 7:15. Just like they don't get the message behind intonation in your voice, when your voice, so you'll say, thank you. Now that is not a happy thank you. And they're going, you're welcome. Now you're really like, and you get the head roll, because it feels like they're challenging. And really what they heard was, oh, thanks for letting me know that I've now run over, because I said 7:15, it's now 7:15, I've told you it's 7:15, you're thanking me, and I'm being polite, and I'm saying you're welcome. All of your sort of discomfort and like, what am I supposed to do with this kid in your head, they don't even know what's going on.